Well, hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's everybody doing? Greg Buckley here for Shop Soup, and another little recipe that we're putting together here. Hey, you know what, man? It's a lot going on. So, I put a little blurb out there about what happens when Superman gets a little too close to Kryptonite, or when all of us uh, have a tear, a stain. On our Superman, Superwoman capes, and what happens, and how you feel personally, and it affects everybody. It affects me as well. And sure, everybody's going to go through with it, and that's what I find kind of odd is that um, I don't think we respect time and age and how it affects our business, our direction, our demeanor, our personality, our habits. Um, and when we don't respect it, what can happen? And we're all affected by it. I don't care who you are, where you're at in life, what kind of business you're operating. I don't care how much piss and vinegar you're shouting off or spouting out uh, during your whole time, whether you're a tech, an owner, a coach, a manager, doesn't matter. All right. Age, father time, mother time, I don't care what you call it, it's going to get you. It's going to get you, and you're going to have that what the hell kind of moment. And I know for guys, right, we're we're blockheads. We don't like hospitals. We think doctors we know more than doctors, especially kind of like being in the technician or being a tech field. We always know more than everybody else, right? We know more than the roofer, the plumber, the doctors, the surgeons, the politicians. We know it all, right? It's because we work on something that no one else can. All right, so we think we have that right, or we turn tone deaf to other providers who are giving us advice and solution that we should listen to. But we're as bad as our customers that we want listening to us, and we don't listen to the professionals that have to take care of us. So it's kind of like it's ironic that we all pump our chest, we fluff up, and we're real proud of what we do. But yet when we go to listen to others, where we should listen to others, and especially if we listen to our body as well, you know, we we do the opposite. We don't listen to their advice. So, case in point for myself personally, right? And it's going on. I mean, you talk about your age and where it starts, and you start to feel differently, and a lot of it starts really when I would say most of us, it's, hey man, 30, 40 years old. Most of the time, our bodies are changing. Our mental makeup is changing. Our life experiences are changing. And that definitely correlates to how we feel about our business, where we want to go with the business, and how we're going to move forward. If we are, thinking legacy mindset. And I think for most guys, we do think legacy, whether it's individually or whether we have a family to take care of, or, we want the business to move forward beyond what our time in it is. That's success. Whether we pass the business on, we sell the business, or we manage the business all the way up to the point where, all right, physically we just can't do it anymore. And it plays a role in how we think and we process things. I really think it has a lot to do with how we market our companies, how we do the shops, how we manage the people, uh, our time in staying with the business or in the business instead of working on the business. A lot of that comes into play. Um, Recently, I would say about a year and a half ago, taking over, opening up another shop. Um, I said before, it came very easily to me. We all of a sudden it went from, hey, are you interested, to, oh gosh, in 5 months we're there, and we're operating and running. And did we have a plan in place for two shops? No, not really. We kind of, like most of us, we were winging it. because the opportunity was just so good. But as things moved on and we started getting busier and this thing became legit and we saw the potential, well, now we put things in place for controls, right? Certain procedures, time, personnel, and we go through the whole thing. Well, for me, everything seemed to be okay until our first kind of like I gotta say like a holiday, right? When staffing was short at both locations, time off, all the conditions were there. So um, it put a lot of stress. Here I am driving up and back and forth, hundreds of miles, possibly in a day. I might drive a day down and a day up, and that's 200, roughly 200 miles, give or take. And everything that's going on, you're trying to control both. You're grooming two individuals, or you're growing a whole nother generation. You're looking for profit. You're looking at your numbers. You're trying to control things, and for the most part, okay, you're doing all right, right? But deep down inside, you're not. And you know, this is where it starts to get you. Um, if I was 25, or yeah, if I was 25, 30, I'd have all the energy in the world. I'd have no problem. I wouldn't be affected, but I'm not. I'm 65. When we took a shop over, 63. All right. And that's even a difference because in the 2 years, it seems like time has just compressed the issues to a greater degree where now I feel like, damn, man, my health is really bugging me. But more importantly, I think this is a natural um, situation with all of us. Again, when we're 25 and you guys are on the forums and we see them all the time. I mean, you're chirping and you're peacocking and you're doing this and you want that and all that stuff. Even if you're a tech or if you're a young owner or whatever, all right, Father Time's going to slap you upside your head, man. And it's going to say, hey, you aren't going to be able to do it all. So what do you do in that case? All right, well, you better plan well. That's all I can tell you. Plan for yourself to be out of that in a certain time. You want 5 years, you want 10 years, you have to do it then. Someone told me before that the first thing you do when you open your business is learn how to get yourself out of it. And I think that's a God's honest truth. That is one standard to go by is immediately as you open the door, you're learning to get yourself out that door and let somebody run it for you and let it and manage it and not be in it. That's pretty critical. And for a lot of us, I know for old timers like myself, it's hard to break that habit. But in the meantime, if you don't break that habit and you don't listen to those wise words, what starts to happen is you start to get involved more than what you should, and that starts having an effect on your physical situation. So, back to like 23 when I was, the holidays, the stress levels were incredible. I might not have showed it. You always try to put on a happy face. And as someone always said, hey, the show's got to go on. So you're here, you are. You're kind of like breaking down on the inside, but you got to put on the smiley face and get yourself out there, and everything's got to be a-okay. In the meantime, man, there's huge erosion going on the inside. And if you don't check yourself, you're going to wreck yourself. I'll give that one. But you really do. So inside, you're wasting away and you're hurting yourself, which means that eventually you're going to hurt others because you're not going to be around. You're not thinking clearly. That legacy thing that you want won't happen. So you need to put things in place and you need to calm down. Um, and during these periods, it always seems to be like around the holidays, and holidays are always well, they're a pain in the ass to begin with. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't mind holidays, love the family time. Everything seems to be a-okay and rosy, that kind of stuff. When in all reality, I think the worst time for a shop owner is the holidays because you have so much to do. You have planning for the following year. You've got personnel on leave. You've got obligations to your personal family and maybe the team, and you want to take them out to dinner. You want to celebrate a year, whatever the case may be. There's a lot of pressure. Um, And the more locations, I guess, the more it would be, unless you've done it right, and you have a someone who can delegate that out, or cater, whatever case might be. I mean, I'm giving you my experience on what I was going through. So these added pressures were were really just adding up to the level of um, shit going on inside me. No doubt. So we get through the holidays, and I start feeling the effects of what that period has done. And again, it's age. Being 30, it wouldn't have been really a problem, but add 35 years to that, and then you start to see why, and you start to have a problem. And it's gotten to the point now where, yeah, I do have some serious issues. I'm wearing pink because it's February here. I'll timestamp this as being February, which is Heart Month. And, as it turns out, I do have a heart issue, and, I got to get it taken care of here. And so, it's kind of like the genesis or the impetus of this show today, this episode today is, um, if you don't take care of yourself early and don't watch yourself, shit piles up on you and inside you, and then before you know it, you ain't worth a damn to anybody. And if you're not prepared for your absence, uh, it can even compound it worse. Fortunately, I do have two individuals, my son and son-in-law, who can manage well, and I think will be okay. But there's always that question: well, what if? So that in itself will play on you as well, because did I do it right? Do I have all my um, I's dotted, T's crossed for this situation? The projects that are ongoing in your life, whether you are in the middle of expansion, whether you have things to achieve for this year, all that will come to your forehead, to the forefront, and you'll think, well, am I still able to achieve that? What am I going to do? And that in itself adds more stress and pressure on you, because you set it in place. You're thinking, my gosh, will it happen? Will I be okay? All this. Um, and I think that, going back on what I said up front, at the top, the younger you are, I think you really have to respect the age of others that you run into. I don't think that I could have learned any better than talking to someone who was older than me, and taking in their experiences and understanding, and going back and going, okay, I'm watching them be successful, or I'm watching them fail, or they're telling me where that, there's a crossroads coming up at this particular point. And I think that for a lot of our younger people in the industry, that you need to listen to people who have been there, done that. And maybe age doesn't have a factor. Maybe they've done something at a younger age, than, and they have the experience. That's great. I mean, I'm not discounting, or I'm not saying that the younger you are, the less experienced you are, or no one should listen to you. I know that my coach is younger than me, and a lot of people have younger coaches to listen to. And I listen to my son and son-in-law, who are younger, of course, and they have good ideas, and I watch them. But I still say that in everything that you do, that age is a factor in how you operate, and every year it changes, because with age comes personality change, becomes thinking. You think differently. Something may have happened in the 1 or 2 years, and now you have a complete a different perspective on how the market is, what your messaging should be, the demographics you want to go after, um, and it does play a very important role. It could slow you. It could slow your process down. I think what one of the coolest things is, when a rookie quarterback comes into the league, and let's say he's thrown into the fire, and he's running a huddle, he's running a game, and you'll hear the term, the game is too fast for him, right? And then as they mature and they age, the game slows down for them. It's the same game, it's the same tempo, but what happens? The experience lets them complete the pass where it should be, to hit the receiver on the break and not past it or not before it. He reads the defenses better than he did the year before. It slows down because he's, one, mature, he's older, right? Secondly, he's more experienced. He's seen it. He's been there, done that. And that's when he starts to become successful, where his percentages and all of his statistics become better. Same with, pretty much any sport. When you're a rookie, unless you're some kind of phenom, you're going to have that learning curve, and age helps that learning curve. So, uh, you know, it's it's kind of funny, but now that I'm older, and you guys who are older as well, um, you I feel better about it. Don't get me wrong, I don't like getting old, but I feel good that I'm still here and involved. And I'm hoping that as much as I can share, from what it's done to my health, to my experience, to what the business is doing, all of this coming into play, I hope that I get to pass all this down to my next generation coming up, because it's important. And if I don't, then I fail, and I don't want to fail. And so, with everything going on, um, I want to. I just want to stick around. It's pretty much what it is. I don't know where it all takes me. And this guys who are, we're older. We are looking at the end of things instead of at the beginning of things. We're looking at life that where we hope to take it easier, and still be involved. But again, it all comes down to respecting age, respecting father time, and how that's going to affect you as an individual. And again, whether I don't care what position you're holding in any career path, um, time is going to change you, and it's going to give you a different perspective on things. And hopefully, you respect that, and you learn to grow within your age. Um, it's very important, that you take that moment and reflect on it, and let it. mm, I don't really let it guide you, but I think the biggest word is respect it. And I don't know, fighting it doesn't make sense. You just have to grow with it and understand that you will be changing, and it could be for the good. And if you want to continue in your business or your career path, the game will slow down. You will understand it better. You will look at things differently. You will actually gain more confidence in how you approach the business. Um, and you'll learn to leave things behind that really don't matter, because again, as you start to get older, your timeline it's pretty limited. You only got so many. So hopefully, you got a long way to run, in your journey, life's journey. And like I say, I'm 65, so I always say I'm in the middle of the sixth inning, right? And I'm going to play for nine, and I'm going to hope that I can go into extra innings. You know what I mean? So, that's my mindset. And I think that's also important, is to have that mindset of, hey, look, I'm going to be around for a long time. In order to get there, I got to start doing these things now, in order so that I can get to those extra innings. And that means whether it's health, whether it's business, whether, am I building a legacy, or am I selling out and I'm leaving and I'm going to sit on the beach all day? I don't care what it is, but man, you got to plan now instead of later. So, you know, when that Superman cape starts to get torn, and you get knocked down a bit, and as a guy, again, it's disheartening. You feel like you're letting everybody down, and here you are, you're getting weaker and weaker, and that kryptonite is getting a little closer to you. Yeah, I guess, man, just gotta learn how to stay away from it from a further distance, or what do I got to do to not have that kryptonite get closer to me? So, and then at the same time, hey, if I get a couple tears in my cape, all right, I'm going to be okay with it, and I got to learn how to just keep it as clean as possible. But overall, just wanted to share a couple things, and I got a hell of a journey coming on. So I'm looking forward to getting back A little bit more than what I should be here at Shop Soup. I really like talking to everybody. You know, speaking of adventures and stuff, I will shout out to Todd Hayes and the team at Elite. And this actually goes back into the story because I really got knocked off my socks coming back from this past quarter, this past 3 or 4 months, November. A lot of travel, a lot of wear and tear. Um, 2 back-to-back weeks of business travel, one to Todd Hayes' event down in Houston, and turn right around and go to the Elite Ignite conference in Dallas. Of course, when you're at these conferences, you do the things that mostly everybody else is going to do. You're going to really not be active. You're going to be sitting on your butt. You're going to be entertaining. You're going to be out, well, you'll be out having a good time later, later into the evenings with some cocktails and stuff. So you really get whacked out. But coming back, hell of a toll on me. So all of this, really got me bugged out. And so, I experienced some really bad, really not so healthy stuff. Anyway, these are kind of things that kind of get to you. Again, it comes down to age, no question. If I was 30, would it bother me? I'm 65, it bothers me. So again, I got to change. If I go out again, I will have I won't go back to back. And when I do go out, maybe it'll be a ton of quarter in lime. Although I don't know about that. So especially hang out with that guy Mike Allen. But anyway, I just want to share some things with you guys. Like I said, I hope to get back. Stay tuned for a couple of interesting things coming up, and we'll be making some announcements soon here on Shop Soup. I'd love to be able to get to interview a lot of y'all, and if you're interested, you can always message me, call me, let me know, and love to get you on the mic and just shoot the breeze, get to know you, have your story shared as much as possible. All right, guys. All right, look, take care. We'll see you later. All right, take care. Bye. By the way, we're on Riverside here, and I'm getting to know it, but it's a really good platform, and I'm getting used to it. So bear with me. All right, Greg Buckley here, Shop Soup. We'll talk to you soon. All right, see ya.